أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شامل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمة في مدينة دباو وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the lights of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Ayan, good morning po sa ating lahat. Nagsama-sama na naman po tayo ngayon sa ating 8th episode ng Casio Technology Sessions sponsored by Casio Education Philippines in partnership with DepEd Educational Technology Unit. So today we'll be discussing about better normal, maximizing the use of Casio calculators in the new normal. Specifically, this webinar will talk about some of the tips and activities that the parents, students, and others will use in delivering new normal in education. So for this session, we will be having better normal, maximizing technology-assisted distance learning with Casio classroom technologies. On this particular session, our speaker will tell us some activities, some tips, and other worthwhile activities na pwedeng makatulong in delivering quality basic education with the help of Casio calculators and yung mga applications ni Casio. And to be able for us to visit or to get to know about Casio, we can visit their Facebook page. It's https://www.facebook.com/Casio Calculators Philippines. And for other things, we can use edu.casio.com.softwarelicense.index.ph. So at this point, let us now call on Mr. Joel Serrano to introduce our resource speaker.
Hi, good morning, Sir Buddy. Nice to
Morning.
see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, saan balakad mo ngayon at baka nasa eskwelahan ka?
Yes, Sir Joel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So to all our participants this morning, it is my honor to introduce our next speaker. Um, Basically, he is an MTop writer, a teacher three in Rizal High School who teaches STEM and Hume's math courses. He obtained his Master's of Education in Mathematics at the National Teachers College as a Metrobank MTOP scholar. Currently, he is pursuing a Doctor of Philosophy in Education major in Educational Management at PWU. Soon to be a doctor, sabi nga nila. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Ronald C. Locasia.
Good morning, Sir Ronald.
Good morning po. Good morning, sir.
Good
Good
morning,
morning, Sir
Ronald.
Joel. Maraming salamat po sa invitation sa akin.
No problem.
Okay. So, medyo kinakabahan ako because it's my first time to be invited sa EduTech and Casio Calculator. Siguro sa mga pang-tries na sa Casio Calculator. Okay? So, I hope to be able to fully enjoy our discussion for this morning. Please download the Casio Emulator version 2 ng Casio ClassWiz FX 99EX. Okay? So yan po. So habang nag-aantay tayo sa ilan na maka-download ng kanilang Casio emulator, ito po yung kailangan natin i-download para ma-enjoy natin. Pero kung meron po kayong kagaya nito na calculator, mas maganda po. Pero kung wala po, it's okay. Pwede natin siyang i-download ng free doon sa website. Yata nakita ko na doon sa site, doon sa comment section, yung site kung paano natin ma-download yung FX 991EX. Okay. So, bago tayo mag-initialize, while waiting for the others to download the Casio emulator, I would like you to choose any number. Okay? Pwede natin siyang i-download ng free doon sa... Sige. Kahit ano pong number, 1 to 4. And then, from that number 1 to 4, I'd like you to multiply the number by 9. Tingnan natin kung ano ang lalabas na sagot. Multiply the number by 9. After multiplying it by 9, add a digit if it's a 2-digit number. But if the digit that you were able to obtain in number 2 is only a single digit or 1-digit number, retain it as a 1-digit number. Medyo delayed yung aking sa Facebook Live. Okay. For number 4, subtract by 5. Again i-add mo yung 2-digit number kung yari ang nakuha mo ay 18. So 1 plus 8, that will be 9. Pero kung 1-digit yan siya, you retain it as a 1-digit number. And then subtract by 5. And then after that, I would like you to, whatever the result, the difference in number 4, after subtracting by 5, identify the equivalent letter in the alphabet. So kung yan ay 2, so that's letter B. Kung yan ay 3, that is letter C. Kung yan naman ay 4, that is letter D. So identify the equivalent letter in the alphabet. Ma'am Dulce, and then you have the country that starts with a letter. So kung yan ay letter B, name a country that starts with letter B. Mamaya na po i-comment yung sagot ha. A country that starts with letter C kung C po ang nakuha, or a country that starts with letter D kung D po yung nakuha natin. Okay? At the end of the letter, no ating country na nakuha, identify an animal that starts with that letter. So kung halimbawa, ang nakuha mo is Belgium. So M. Ano yung animal that start with letter M? Okay, and lastly, look at the letter. Look at the end of the letter. Identify a color that starts with that letter. Identify the color that starts with that letter. Okay, if you're ready, I'd like you to comment the result of the paradigm that na ginawa natin in an open perspective. I-comment natin, baka tingnan natin kung pare-parehas. Thank you, Ma'am Princess Sardinia. Ano po ang nakuha nyo na at the end of the letter, identify a color that starts with that letter? Indigo from Ma'am Janeline Formentos. Indigo. Okay. Green from Ma'am Lovely Ochea. Red from Ma'am Chris Marcelo. White from Francesca Licero Ramirez. Orange from Syra. Ma'am Saraki Orange. Red from Mariel. Okay? So I think kung babalikan natin, usually lahat ng letter na i-add natin ay laging 4 ang makukuha natin. Okay? So ano po yung 4? That's letter D. Okay? So letter D, maraming possible na pwede ka makolect. Denmark, Dominican Republic. Okay? And then, indigo, orange. Okay, very good. So majority po na nakuha natin ay orange. Like, anyway, yun po ay isang motivation na baka nag-aantay tayo sa ilan na mag-download ng kanilang ClassWiz, Casio, okay, Emulator. Okay, I think we are all set and ready. Antayin ko na mag-flash sa aking screen. Now, today's lesson is about quadratic equation and quadratic inequalities. Medyo kakaiba yung setup natin ngayon na ang learnings ng pagtuturo at the same time. Kakaiba yung way natin ngayon na ang delivery of lessons. At naniniwala ako na ang learnings ng isang estudyante sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon natin ay hindi lamang nakaatay na responsibilidad para sa ating mga guro, kung hindi katuwang dapat ngayon ng mga magulang. So naganda ako ng mga suggested, hindi ko naman sinabing ito yung tama, na pwedeng gawin ng mga magulang kung tutulungan nila ang kanilang mga anak kapag gagawa na sila ng assignment or activities. Para naman sa mga teachers, ano yung pwede nilang gawin during the first week or first 2 weeks ng kanilang discussion. At para naman sa mga estudyante, papaano ngayon yung technique na gagawin nila? Kasi remember, the 1-hour classroom discussion is different from 1-hour online teaching and online learnings. Nakakapagod talaga siya. Na-experience namin yan. Okay, as a sort of review, a quadratic equation in one variable is an equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay? In a quadratic equation, a cannot be equal to 0 because once a is equal to 0, that is no longer a quadratic equation. But b and c can be 0. Okay? Take note, ha, parents, teachers, and students. I know teachers know this one. B and c cannot be equal to 0 kasi hindi siya magiging quadratic. Okay? To solve the quadratic equation means to find the values of x that will satisfy the equation. Some common mistake na nangyayari kapag ang lesson ay quadratic equation, whenever nakakakuha ka ng value ng variable, it's automatic, it's the right answer. Even I, teacher, medyo nagkakamali ako niyan. You have to go back to check your answer because maybe that might be correct as the value of the variable, but that will not satisfy the given equation. So teachers, we have to be very careful in giving instruction. Okay? Paano ba tayo, sir, maglalagay na instruction na hindi nakakalito sa estudyante? Let us say, for example, number 1. I hope you're ready with your Casio ClassWiz Emulator. Find the value of the variable that will satisfy the given quadratic equations. Teachers, pansinin natin yung aking direction. You have to be very clear with the instruction, lalong-lalo ngayon. Lalo't ang mga magulang, tutulungan nila ang mga anak at hindi nila masyado naiintindihan ang direction. Minsan kasi pag tinatamad tayo, we have solve for x. Find the value of x. Okay? So pag find the value of x, kahit pala yung value ng x na extraneous siya, pwede kasi find the value of x lang naman. It should be, ang suggestion ko lang po find the value of the variable that will satisfy the given quadratic equation. So students would have an understanding that dapat ang makuha kong value ng x dito is yung magsasatisfy sa aking quadratic equation. Because sometimes students know how to do math. They just don't understand what is being asked in the problem. Kapag ang sasabihin mo lang ay find the value of x and solve for x. Okay? So, let's use our Casio Emulator. Una, nakalagay dyan sa step, use menu. Ito po yung menu. Yan ko lang siya. Okay. Use menu. Okay. Mamaya po iaakit ko to. Okay. Una po, press natin yung menu. Tapos, punta po tayo sa equation and function. Ang equation and function pa ay nasa A. And then, press equal sign. Okay? You'll be asked by the Casio emulator as simul equation and polynomial. Anong ibig sabihin ng simul equation? Simul equation will be used in the systems of linear equation. Try natin pindutin. In 2 unknowns, 3 variables, or 4 variables. So, kaya isolve the Casio emulator yung hanggang 4 variables or 4 unknown. Balik tayo. Nawala ako. Okay. The equation will be here sa ating A. Press equal sign. And then polynomial function. And then the Casio will ask you, select 2 to 4. That degree of the polynomial pertains to the highest exponent. Since we are dealing here with quadratic, basically, the degree is 2. Kapag cubic yan, you press 3. At kapag in the 4th degree, you press 4. So, kayang isolve ni Casio emulator hanggang 4th degree. So, solve for. Press natin yung 2. And then you have to identify yung mga numerical coefficient. Ano-ano ang mga numerical coefficient ng 2x squared plus x minus 3 is equal to 1. So, una, meron ka ditong A. Ang A natin dito ay 2. Ang B natin dito ay 1. At ang C natin dito ay negative 3. Before I forget, in order for us to use the Casio ClassWiz in solving quadratic equation, dapat naka-express yung ating quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus bx minus c is equal to 0. In the case of number 1, naka-express na siya into ax squared plus x minus 3. Okay? So, i-input lang natin yung mga numerical coefficient. That's 2. And then press equal sign. Our B here is 1, press 1, and then equal sign. And our C here is negative. Ang negative po ay nasa column ng shift. Huwag natin gamitin yung minus. Gamitin natin yung negative side. Huwag tayong malilito sa minus and the negative sign. This is negative and then 3. Ay, ano nangyari? Saan ako? Oh, wala pala. Sorry. Minus 3. Okay, ang sabi ng calculator natin, syntax error kasi mali yung function na na-input natin. So that will be equals. So press again equal. So the value of x sub 1 will be 1. And the value of x sub 2 will be negative 3 over 2. And then, ano nangyari? Saan ako? Oh, wala pala. Sorry. Minus 3. Okay, sabi ng calculator natin, syntax error kasi mali yung function na na-input natin. So that will be equals. Kasi every time na maglalagay ka sa Casio ng numerical coefficient, you have to press equal sign. And then press equal sign again. may nakita ka dyan, minimum of y equals yx squared plus bx plus c. X is negative 1/4, while the y is equal to negative 25 over 8. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, this is the point of the parabola, yung turning point ng ating parabola. Since a here is positive 2, so basically the parabola opens upward at ang kanyang lowest point is at negative 1/4 at saka negative 25 over 8. So technically, the graph of the parabola falls in the third quadrant. Now, merong ibang gamit, yung minimum ng x at saka ng y natin, na gusto ko sana i-discover nyo. Kasi, pwede mo siyang magamit doon sa pag-transform ng 2x squared plus x minus 3 into a completing the square. Okay? Bibihira kasi ng mga teacher na magsasabing, express this one into completing the square. Usually kasi magsasolve. Pero kung gusto mo ng unique din na pwedeng matutunan dito sa ClassWiz natin, ang x natin na minimum at saka yung y natin na minimum will be used to transform the quadratic equation into a completing the square. Okay? So, the answer will be, ano masagot natin dito doon? X is negative 3 over 2 rather, and x sub 2 is positive 1. Nakuha po ba? Okay, so the answer will be x is negative 3 over 2 rather, and x sub 2 is positive 1. Nakuha po ba? Okay, let us continue. For number 2, we have negative 10x plus 5x squared is equal to negative 3. Yung ating given is not expressed in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So all we have to do is to express. Kapag na-express natin ito into ax squared plus bx plus c, technically we'll be using addition property of equality. So ito, mag-a-add tayo both side by positive 3. So nandito na ngayon sa positive 3. Identifying the value of the numerical coefficient, our a. Same pa din, balik tayo doon sa equation, press menu, and then equation, you go to the polynomial. The degree is still in the second degree because we are dealing here with quadratic equation.
Sir Ronald, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Sir, medyo nag-feedback. Baka may naka-open ka po na cellphone.
Ay, ayan sir, wala na. Oh, sorry,
ayan,
sir.
Okay na po. Salamat,
Okay.
Sir Ronald.
Nag-feedback pa siya na. Kasi inisip ko, delayed pala yung aking, delayed yung aking doon sa Facebook Live. Okay. So, our A here is 5. So, you have to input. Same pa din po ha. Go to the menu. Ito po yung menu. And then, hanapin natin si equation and function. And then, press equal sign. You will be asked with simul equation or polynomial. But press polynomial kasi our lesson is quadratic equation. It's in the second degree. So, you select 2. Hindi po 3, hindi po 4. Kasi ang highest degree natin dito ay 2. Press 2. And then, ang next na step is to input the numerical coefficient. Our A is 5. Our B is negative 10. And our C is positive na po siya. Kasi magiging 0 yung ating right-hand equation. Okay, press equal. So, we'll be dealing here with a x sub 1 will be 5 plus square root of 10 over 5. And our x sub 2 will be 5 minus square root of 10 over 5. Tapos nun, makukuha din ni Casio Emulator yung coordinates ng parabola. Coordinates, not coordinates of the parabola, coordinates ng ating lowest point ng parabola. Kasi ito pa ay opens upward, kaya nasa lowest point siya at 1 negative 2. Yun po yung 1 at saka yung negative 2. Okay, I hope nasusundan. So that will be 5 plus minus square root of 10 over plus minus square root of 10 over 5. Okay. I want you to try solving number 3 using the Casio ClassWiz emulator. Tingnan natin kung sino ang makakakuha ng sagot. And then you try to type your answer dito sa ating chat box. Sige, bigyan ko po kayo ng siguro mga 2 minutes since nasa Casio ClassWiz naman tayo. Nag-ano pa lang po tayo, nag-review, hindi pa talaga tayo nagbibigay ng mga suggestions or activities para sa mga parents, mga teachers na pwedeng magamit nila kapag ganito po yung lesson nila during the first 2 weeks ng opening po ng klase. Or activities para sa mga parents, mga teachers na pwedeng magamit nila kapag ganito po yung lesson nila during the opening po ng klase. Okay, may nakakuha po. Okay, may nakakuha po. Siguro square muna natin ito, no, sa mga estudyante na nakikinig. You have 2x square muna, yung 2x plus 8 using FOIL method. Square the first term, ito po yung 2x. And then twice the product of the first and the second. And then square the second term. And then combining similar term with 64 and 27. Okay, from Sir Carlo Tenso, x is negative 8 plus minus square plus minus 3 square root of 3 over 2. Tama, sir. Sir Tenso. We have negative 8 plus minus 3 square root of 21 all over 2. From Miss Daisy Dolor, 3 square root of 3 minus 8 or plus minus 8. Parang nabaliktad, Ma'am Daisy, ano? All over 2. We also have Sir Willard, Buban, negative 8 plus 3 square root of 3 over 2 and negative 8 minus 3 square root of, what's this? Square root of 3. Sige, solve natin. Ang magiging A na natin dyan will be 2. Sorry, not 2 but 4. So degree is 2. So we have 4. And then the numerical coefficient will be, the value of B is, that is 632. And then the value of C will be what? Ang C natin dyan ay, this is 64. 64 minus 27, that's 37. Positive 37. So x is negative 8. Okay. So mali yung aking sagot. Negative 8 plus square root of 3 and negative 8 minus square root of 3. Tama po. Negative 8 plus minus square root of 3. Okay. Next. Let's try this one. Okay. Para sa mga teachers na ang lesson ay ganito, you could adapt this kind of activity. Paano, sir? Kapag naka face-to-face ka, maganda sana ito. Pero pwede mo rin siyang gawin kapag ka naka-online teaching ka. Pag nasa face-to-face kasi, may mga clue. Gagawin mo sa mga estudyante mo, gagawin mo siyang parang criminal investigator. They are going to be the criminal investigator. Merong isang crime scene and isosolve nila ang crime scene using the quadratic equation na mga clue. Okay? Dahil naka-distance learning tayo ngayon, kung pwede mo pa rin siyang gawin. Papaano, sir? So the direction would be calculate each solutions. When you find the answers, you should eliminate the suspect name on the card from the list. Each correct answer will eliminate one choice. Solving the case, how to solve, when you all have finished all 10 questions. Usually po, kapag medyo nasa klase ka, pwede mo siyang gawing 20 questions. You will be left with one hero, one villain, and one location. These are the answers to the mystery of who killed the wise. Yun ang purpose natin. So, ang setup, ganito po. Medyo masyado siyang maliit, pero palalakiin natin mamaya. Find the roots that satisfy the given quadratic equations. Then use your solution to eliminate the suspects and solve the mystery. Yung matitira po dito sa ating who killed why, who, what, with what, where did why killed. Ang matitira po dyan, yun po yung sagot dito sa it was who with a what and a where. Okay? So, try nating sagutan. Yung number 1, 2, 3, para po dito yan. Pero kapag ka nasa ano ka, para lang makita natin kasi maliit ang slide, pag nasa online teaching ka na po, pwede mo siyang ibigay ng sabay para talaga ang estudyante mag-iisip talaga siya kung nasaan, kung sino ang matitira doon sa tao na binigay ni teacher. So, Mr. Jones, Mr. Brown, Miss Davis, and Mrs. Chen. Sige po, let us try. Who killed why? Using number 1, 2, 3, sino ang matitira dyan? You just have to use your Casio ClassWiz. Number 1 is Mrs. Chen. Wow, Jennerson Angalia. Bilis. It was Miss Chen or Mrs. Chen. Now, teachers, pwede mong palitan itong mga pangalan. You can use the name of your teacher, of your co-teachers. Pero make sure lang na medyo hindi siya maging katatawanan kasi baka mamaya isipin ng mga estudyante, yung teacher na to yung killer pala ni Y. Okay? Pwede ka rin mag-invento ng mga pangalan. Okay, may nakasagot na isa. We have Mr. Jennerson Angalia. Ang sagot niya, it was Mrs. Chen who killed the wise. Mrs. Chen from Bon Josh, Pagaran. Para-parehas ba ng sagot si Mrs. Chen? Yung sagot po dito sa 1, 2, 3, makikita niyo po yung kanyang roots dito sa choices. Yung matitira, yun po yung sagot sa it was who. Mrs. Chen, Ma'am Daisy Dolor, Carlo Tenso, Ma'am Lings. Okay, I think Ma'am Daisy is Mr. Brown. I think majority, the answer is Mrs. Chen. Let's see mamaya doon sa dulo. Now, what about this one? With what? Ano ang gamit ng killer? This is for number 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. Number 2 is Mr. Brown. Ang bilis. Mr. Brown, we have Jennerson Angalia. Ma'am Joy Mebugay, number 1, we have Mrs. Chen. Ma'am Agnes, Eleazar, Mrs. Chen also, Ma'am Janice and Allison. Also, the answer of Ma'am Janeline Allison is Mrs. Chen. Ma'am Jenna, Santiago, Andres, Mr. Brown. Iba-iba ang sagot natin. Tingnan natin sa dulo. Okay. We have Ma'am Agnes Eleazar with a vase. It's for number 4, 5, and 6 po ha. Okay, let's have the last part. The last part will be where? Dining room, kitchen, bedroom, or balcony? That's for number 7, 8, and 9. Base. Shout out daw po kay Mr. and Mrs. Jade Magaling. Okay. Si Mrs. Jade and Mr. and Mrs. Jade Magaling, isa po yan sa mga veterano ng MTech, powerhouse yan sila mag-asawa. Hi Ma'am Jade and yung husband niyo po. Hello. Mrs. Cheng, nabago na base, okay? Where did yung pumatay ka, yung killer ni Y, saan ginawa ang crime? Sa dining room, sa kitchen, sa bedroom, or sa balcony? Dining room from Jennerson Angalia. From Sir Luis Vicente Orais, balcony. From Ma'am Jenna Santiago, vase. Sir Jericho Solano, vase. Ma'am Rachel Hakuba, dining room. Carl Peter Balubal, Sir Carl, dining room. Okay, vase. So, let's see kung ano ang sagot po. Okay, it was Miss Davis with a knife. And saan po nangyari yung ating crime scene? Sa balcony po ginawa ni Miss Davis ang pag-kill kay Y using a knife. Hi, Sir Taki Kun. Hello po from the Division of Malabon. Balcony, very good. Okay, so ano po ba yung rationale bakit ko binigay ito? Minsan kasi kailangan ng mga estudyante ng something new dito sa activity ng lesson na to. Alam natin class, kung sino man po ang parents o teachers na mag-agree sa akin na marami talaga yung ayaw sa math. And as a teacher, you had to think of ways how to get the attention of your students. Mapa-online class man yan o mapa-face-to-face man yan. Okay? Hindi ko alam kung ano mga strategy ang ginagawa nating mga teachers na magustuhan nila ang mathematics. Kasi for me, parang kailangan mo iparamdam sa mga estudyante mo na nag-care ka sa kanila. And it's very difficult for us teachers, especially math teachers, to do it in front of a computer screen nowadays. So para maramdaman naman nila na pag-aarin natin ang bigat ng topic sa math, pwede natin gawin yung mga ganitong activities. Okay? Now, another activity. Hi, Ma'am Orange, Jerwin. Hello po. Another activity na pwedeng magamit po ng mga parents and teachers para sa topic na to is, tatawagin ko siyang quadratic land. Ba? Tayong mga millennials, lumaki tayo na nakalakihan natin ang laro ng snake and ladder. Sino bang hindi nag-enjoy ng larong snake and ladder ng mga panahon na yon? Nakakalungkot kasi yung mga Generation Z ngayon, hindi na nila na-experience yung paglalaro ng traditional na snake and ladder. Ngayon, pwede nating ilagay ang quadratic equation sa paglalaro ng snake and ladder. Okay? Sa paglaro ng snake and ladder, pwede kang mag 7 players. May color naman siya eh. Paano ba siya gagawin? Although hindi natin to siya gagawin ha, i-explain ko lang paano mo siya gagawin. Okay? Mag-start ka dito. Alam naman natin ang lesson ng quadratic equation. Meron siyang quadratic formula. How to solve the roots of quadratic equation. Pwedeng quadratic formula. Pwedeng factoring. Pwedeng completing the square. Pwedeng square root property. You can also solve the roots using graphing. Okay? So, 7 players. Magda-dice ka lang po dyan. Roll mo lang yung die and move the respective number of space. The color you land correspond to the quadratic card. And then you have to solve. Kapag ka nag-land ka dito sa purple, kailangan mo siyang isolve using quadratic formula. Kapag nag-land ka naman sa green, kailangan mo siyang isolve using factoring. Kapag nag-land ka naman sa red, pwede mo siyang isolve using completing the square. Kapag nag-land ka naman dito sa sky blue, pwede mo siyang i-solve using square root property. Pwedeng graphing kapag ka-purple. At kapag naka-yellow or blue, it's an open technique. It's an open method. You can do whatever you want kung anong method man. Okay. Paano, sir, kapag may mga quadratic naman na hindi siya ma-solve using factoring? Okay? Dinisign ko po yun. Ito po yung itsura niyan. Ito yung itsura niyan. Actually, 7 players po yan, pero 2 lang po. Ha? Kapag i-roll mo yung die, magpipick kung nasaan ka ngayon na kung saan nag-stop yung player. Kung nag-stop siya ng blue, dito siya kukuha ng tanong, random. Pag red, eto po. Ngayon, paano kapag hindi niya nasagot yung tanong? Babalik siya doon sa pinanggalingan. Kapag nasagot naman niya yung tanong, mag-retain siya doon kung saan siya nag-land. Okay? Kapag nabunot na po niya yan, ganito ang lalabas. Although maliit lang po siya, baka masunog ang crispy patas. Okay, although maliit lang po siya, pero at least kahit paano nagkakaroon po tayo ng idea. Hindi ko lang alam kung paano ko i-share ito sa mga teachers. Maybe I can ask the Edu ClassWiz paano ko i-share sa kanila itoong quadratic land po, quadratic land na game. Paano po siya naging maganda, sir? Anong pinagkaiba niyan? Gaya ng binanggit ko kanina, ang mga parents ngayon ay kaagapay ng mga teachers sa learning ng mga estudyante. So maaaring pwede mo silang gawing banding nila ito time na natututo sila at the same time nagagabayan ng magulang, nag-e-enjoy pa rin sila at napapa-experience natin sa mga bata yung larong nakagisna natin which is yung snake and ladder. Okay. Now, ito po yung itsura niya. So we're done with the quadratic equation. Now let's do the quadratic inequalities. Quadratic equation and quadratic inequalities have the same way of solving. Almost. Hindi ko naman sinabing the same. Almost the same. Using ClassWiz pa din siya. Okay? As a sort of review, on solving quadratic equation, solving quadratic inequality po pala. Solving quadratic inequalities involving the quadratic form of ax squared plus bx plus c. But we need to consider 2 basic theorems. The product of 2 quantities is positive if both are positive. At kapag negative naman, both are negative, yan pa rin po ay positive. The second theorem will be the product of 2 quantities is negative if one quantity is positive and the other is negative, and vice versa. Okay? Next. So find the solution set of the following inequalities. Mali po yung aking tanong ha. Dapat po ang tanong dyan, find the solution set of the following quadratic inequalities. May kulang lang. Ulitin ko po, the instruction would be, find the solution set of the following quadratic inequalities. Bakit ba, Sir Ronald, very particular ka sa pagbibigay ng instruction? Maniwala man kayo o hindi, pagdating ng grade 11, maraming mga estudyante ang nalilito sa quadratic equation, quadratic inequality, at saka quadratic function. Same with linear function, linear inequality, and linear equation. So, hindi na sila magtatanong, anong form ba to? Ay, nasa instruction. It's a quadratic inequality. Nasasanay sila, alam nila ang pagkakaiba na kung ano yung quadratic inequality sa quadratic equation. The process is the same po. So, 2x squared. Punta ka lang doon sa menu again. And then, hindi ka na sa equation pupunta, pero pupunta ka na sa inequality. Sa inequality, press mo lang siya equal. You have to express again the quadratic inequality in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c pa din. So, ang degree natin ay nasa quadratic pa rin, so you press 2. Okay? Now, tignan natin yung quadratic inequality sign or the inequality sign itself. Meron tayong 1 greater than 0, number 2 less than 0, number 3 greater than or equal to 0, and number 4 less than or equal to 0. Ano po ba ang ating magiging form ng inequality? So basically, ang pipindutin ko ay ang number 4 kasi kaparehas siya na less than or equal to 0. So press ko lang yung number 4. Okay? And then, i-transform natin ito siya into ax squared plus bx plus c less than or equal to 0. So magiging negative x ito and negative 3. And then input the numerical coefficient a, b, and c. Our a here is 2. Our B here is -1 and our C is -3. So you just input 2 equals and the -1 equals again and the -3 equals again. And then press equal. That will be the solution set of the quadratic inequality, that the solution set would be x is greater than or equal to -1 but less than or equal to 3/2. Okay, teachers? Wow, like ko po yan. Nice reward to learners if you win. You will receive 1 box of chocolate. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Nina Atienza Culia. Okay? Careful tayo, teachers. Ganito ang mangyayari. Maraming mga estudyante ang hindi marunong magbasa ng inequality. Hindi ko sabihin hindi marunong magbasa ha. Hindi sila marunong, nalilito sila. Siguro the right term is nalilito. Nalilito sila paano po ito basahin. Okay? Pag binasa ito, may mga estudyante tayong nakikinig ngayon. Students, start ka dito sa middle. The middle will be x. X will be greater than or equal to -1 but less than or equal to 3/2. Hindi mo siya pwedeng basahin nagmula sa right papunta sa left na 3/2 greater than x greater than -1. Okay? So as much as possible, hindi ko naman sinabi na in just one click of your hand, yung mathematical terms na gagamitin natin ay agad-agad natin itong maitatransfer sa mga estudyante. But little by little, alam ko magagawa natin yon. Kasi once na ang ating ginagamit sa math ay colloquial terms, na-adapt din siya ng estudyante natin, nagiging colloquial din siya. It's nice din naman na maintindihan o marunong din na gumamit ng mga mathematical terms ng mga estudyante natin. Okay, kahit hindi natin sila nakikita. Okay, next. Let's try number 2. Okay, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 0. So press mo lang, equals again, inequality again, the numerical coefficient is 2, but this time naka-express na siya into ax squared plus bx plus c is greater than 0. Ang aking kukunin ngayon is si number 3 naman kasi yun ang kaparehas niya, greater than or equal to 0. So i-press ko lang si 3, okay? Meron siya kanilang mga natira yan, pwede mo siyang idiretso naman. So our A here is 1, our B here is 5, and our C here is 6. And then press equal. So we have now the solution set of the quadratic inequality is x is less than or equal to -3 at saka x is greater than or equal to -2. Okay? Dahil gumagamit tayo ng calculator, mahirap natin siyang i-visualize sa estudyante bakit ganyan ang solution. Maiging ipaintindi natin paano nagiging ganyan. Okay? Kasi baka nakuha nila ang sagot, pero minsan nalilito sila, ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin nito? Ang ibig sabihin niya, opposite po yung kanyang solution set. Okay. Hi, Ma'am Jel Duenas. Good morning. Okay, next. So we have here x is less than or equal to -3, but greater than, x is greater than or equal to -2. Okay, number 3. Can you try, sige, for those students or teachers and parents who were able to download the Casio ClassWiz Emulator, 2x squared plus 17x, or not, 2x squared rather is greater than 17x plus 9. Sige po, i-try po, ano po ang sagot? Sir Nikki Dolor, hello, good morning. Ma'am Victoria Manansala, hi, from Taytay, Rizal. Sige, you have to type your answer. Kaya ba i-type sa ano? Sa chat, sa live, yung sagot? Sir Carlo Tenso, very good. Ang bilis sa Sir Carlo. X is less than -1/2 and then x is greater than 9. Tingnan natin kung tama sa Sir Carlo Tenso. Sir Carlo Tenso from Arellano University. From Generation Angali, I think he's from Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Pasig. Factors are 9 and -1/2. So medyo diverse yung ating audience ngayon. Meron tayong mga college students, may mga teachers tayo from the private school, meron tayong mga estudyante from the junior high school. We also have teachers coming from, kanina may nakita ko Bohol, from the Division of General Santos City, from Muntinlupa, from the Schools Division Office of Manila, from Mabalacat City College, from from Banisil National High School. Okay? I think pare-pares ang sagot, ano? X is less than -1/2. From Amponsetia, X is greater than 1/2. Mark Luis. Okay. I think we have the same answer. X is less than -1/2, but X is greater than 9. Okay? Careful din tayo sa paglalagay ng greater kasi pag nabaligtad na natin yan, nalilito din yung mga estudyante natin. Okay? Next. Let's try this one. Number 4. Alam, nakita ko pala yung sagot. Sorry. Sige, let's try number 5. Namali, number 5 na. From the Division of Bukidnon, Ma'am Princess, Belly Jen. So, okay, you try to solve. Actually, kahit hindi mo siya i-solve, alam yung sagot. While waiting doon sa sagot, you can type kung saang school and division po kayo galing. Yeah, that's correct, Ma'am Denise. From Araulo High School, Ma'am Cathy Binondo. From the Talon National High School in Cavite, Sheila Lianes. Free answers here. Minsan ibibigay mo rin to teachers sa mga estudyante. Tapos let them realize bakit nga ba ganun ang sagot. From the Division of Masbate Province, Ma'am Caroline Oliver. From San Pablo City, from the Division of Iloilo. From Tigbao District, Zamboanga del Sur, Ma'am Paula Margaret Arimado. From Caloocan High School. Okay, the answer there will be no solution. Kasi, pag iano natin yan sa Casio ClassWiz, ito po ang lalabas. Actually, kahit hindi mo siya isolve, bakit? What will be the value of the variable, which is x, that will make the whole quadratic inequality less than 0? So meaning to say, ang hinahanap natin dito ay negative. And there is no value of x that will make the whole, itong nasa left side natin, into negative. Kasi yung ating exponent ay 4 at saka 2, naka-even po siya. Okay? So ilalagay niyo po is no solution pero ibibigay mo pa rin sa mga estudyante kasi minsan sila nagso-solve lahat, hindi na nila ina-examine yung given. Now, we are not going to solve this one, but this is a suggestion para sa mga teachers and parents na tutulungan ng mga estudyante nila about quadratic inequalities. Match each inequalities to its solution set. Ang likod niyan, meron akong nilagay na hidden parang saying or picture. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Kailangan mo lang pagtabihin yung quadratic inequality sa kanyang solution set. Okay? So pwede mo itong isend sa mga estudyante mo, tapos sa mga estudyante mo, ikakat mo, or pwedeng ikaw na mismo ang mag-cut, tapos sila ang magbabalik sa iyo. Pwede mo rin siyang gawin doon sa PowerPoint, na kung saan, sino ang magkakatabi dito, anong number, para mabuo mo yung, ito siya. Ninumberan ko lang po siya, pero hindi po ibig sabihin na yun po ang pagkakasunod-sunod. Para lang makita niyo na pagtatabihin, ito ang magiging itsura. Okay? Now, you could also use this one, quadratic inequality. Kapag kayo ay nag-online teaching in Google Classroom, pwede mo to siyang gawin sa breakout session. Igrupo mo yung mga estudyante mo. Okay? How many can you get in 3 minutes? Yung lahat lang na pwede mong lahat ng mga, yung kaya lang ng estudyante. Kasi ito naman is parang after na master nila ang quadratic inequality. And you have the Casio ClassWiz that will help you solve the following quadratic inequality problems. Okay? Ito yung magiging sagot niyan. Now, let's try to solve for the roots. Okay. Now, extend ko yung ating quadratic inequality and equation. Paano yan, sir? The process is the same. Solve for the roots. Ibig sabihin, ano yung magiging value nitong x? Naging 0 siya. So, menu. And then, hanapin natin yung equation kanina. And then you get the polynomial pa din. So this time, hindi mo na kukunin yung second degree. Kasi ang degree natin dito is in the fourth degree. Press na natin yung 4. Same thing na ginagawa natin doon sa quadratic equation, you identify the value of A, B, and C, as well as the constant term. So in this case, our A is 6, our B is 1, our C is negative 56, our D is negative 9, and our constant term is 18. So 6, press equal. Every time na mag-input po kayo na ang numerical coefficient, and then press 1 equal. Negative 56, press equal, and then we have negative 9, and then lastly, we have positive 18. And then equal natin. So our x sub 1 will be 3, x sub 2 is negative 1/2, x sub 3 is negative 2/3, x sub 4 is negative 3. So imagine mo kung yan ay isosolve natin, kasi medyo mahaba ang gagawin natin. Ito si ClassWiz, pwede mo siyang gawing pan-check. Palaki may tutulong ng Casio ClassWiz lalo sa mga magulang para malaman nila kung paano or ano ang na-check at the same time yung tamang sagot. Okay? So, ang apat na roots again ay 6. Wala na ako. Asa na? 6. We have 3, 1/2, negative 2/3, and negative 3. Those are the roots of the the function. From San Jose Elementary School, Masbate Division, Ma'am J.M. Madrilejos. Now, what about if you have now the sequences and series? You can do this one sa bahay. Siguro sa mga teachers, pwede magbigay ka ng instruction. The materials needed are toothpick and table. Kapag ang figure, itong figure 1 natin ha, itong naka-black na triangle. Ang black na triangle dito ay 1. Ilan ang number of toothpick na ginamit para makabuo ka ng triangle? 3. Kapag dalawa naman yung ating, yung figure natin, dalawang triangle, yung pangalawang triangle natin yung naka-blue. So we have 3, 4, and 5. Tapos kapag katatlo, ito naman, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hanggang makita mo yung pattern. Dear teachers, it is very important that students will be able to see the pattern. Because at the end of the day, mathematics is the study of pattern and relationship. So as much as possible, dapat laging start tayo sa paghahanap ng pattern para makuha ng estudyante. Now what if, ganito na, naka-pattern na siya 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Papaano ngayon kukunin ko na yung 150? Okay, si ClassWiz, kaya nang isolve. Papaano, sir? Pupunta ka lang, actually dito kailangan ko lang dito ng dalawa. Yung 1 and 2 lang, ang figure 1 and 2 lang kailangan ko, masosolve ko na yung the rest. Paano, sir? Punta ka lang ng menu, and then hanapin natin sa statistics. Hanapin sa statistics, and then press equal. Pag na-press natin yung equal, we have one variable, y equals a plus bx. Pero dahil naka-linear ito, 1, 3, 2, 5, 3, 7, kukunin natin yung y is equal to a plus bx. That will be number 2. So meron ka ngayon 2 tables, x and y. Yung figure 1, yan yung ilalagay mo. Press 1 equal, and then press to equal. Yung x po yun ha, yung figure 1 at saka yung figure 2. Gamitin natin yung cursor ng ating ClassWiz. Arrow pala. So kapag ang figure niya ay 1, 3 ang number of toothpicks. Kapag 2 naman, 7. Kahit yan lang ang gagawin ko, pwede na siya. Kaya na siyang isolve yung 150th kung ilan ang number of toothpicks. Paano? Press mo lang yung option and then you will select type, editor to variable calculation and regression. So dito nagka-calculate tayo using the statistics mode. Baba mo lang, gamitin mo to. Hanapin nyo po yung statistics calc. Yun ang kailangan natin. Statistics calc, yun ang kailangan natin. Hanapin mo yun, pindutin mo si 1. Okay? Now, the problem asks us to find the number of toothpicks kapag ang figure ay nasa 150. Yun ang ilalagay mo, 150. Kapag naka 150 ka na, balikan mo si option. Pagkabalik ka na kay option, hanapin mo na si regression. Kanina, ang hinanap natin ay si statistics calc, ngayon naman ay si regression. Press 4. At ang lalabas sa calculator mo ay A, R, Y hat, B, and X hat. Ito po yung parang may arrow sa taas, that is Y hat and X hat. Ang kailangan lang natin is the Y hat. Y hat will be 5. Pag pinrest mo yan, yung 150th figure, meron siyang number of toothpicks na 599. Okay? Papaano, Sir Ronald, kapag hahanapin ko yung end term, kaya kayang isolve ni ClassWiz? The answer po is yes. Balik ka lang sa huwag mo siyang i-escape ha. From Antipolo City, Jose Cerbito. Hello ma'am. Hello sir. Balikan mo lang ditong option and then regression calculation. Number 3. Medyo mahaba pero mamaya babalik-balikan natin, makakabisado niyo po yan. Number 3. Nakalagay dyan, A is equal to B plus X. Ang A natin ay negative 1, ang B natin ang 4, ang R natin is 1. Ang value po ng B na meron kay Casio, that will be the one to be multiplied kay N. At yung A natin yung ating ipa-plus or ima-minus. Kaya in finding the end term dito sa ating figure, pag hinahanap natin ang end term ng ating sequence and series, ang sagot dito will be 4n minus 1. Okay? That's 4n minus 1. You can verify kung 4n minus 1 nga siya. Na-verify ko ba dito? Okay. Na hindi ko para hindi ko inano. Like tayo dito ha. Okay. Na-verify natin na ito ay 4n minus 1 using this statistics calculation. Okay? Try natin si 190. Same pa rin ang gagamitin natin. Sige, try natin. 190, balik ka lang po kay statistics, that's 6. Pwede mong i-press number 6. And then, y equals a plus bx ang kukunin natin. So you will be left with the table for x and y. The same pa rin ang kukunin natin. Kung gusto mo nang i-input lahat yan, walang problema. But Casio ClassWiz can solve kahit yung 2 terms, yung first 2 terms lang. So ang figure 1 natin, ang figure 2, and then our y will be 3. Number of toothpicks for figure 1. Wait lang, may mali. Na-doble ako. Okay. And then, for the figure 2, we have 5 number of toothpicks. Ano ang next na step? Pindutin mo si option. Hanapin natin ngayon si statistics calc. Ito po, i-arrow mo lang. Ito yung statistics calc. From Alaminos, Pangasinan. Hi, Ma'am Elizabeth. Okay. And then, ang hinahanap natin ay pang 190th figure. Tapos balik ka sa option. Hanapin mo na ngayon si regression. Laging option ha, regression. Press 4. And then, yung ating y hat. Y hat natin will be 5. And then press equal. Ang sagot natin ay 381. Okay? Nakuha po natin. Balikan mo ngayon sa option para makuha mo yung end term. Paano, sir, yung regression calculation? You just press 3. So, yan na po yan. Ay, bakit nagbago? 2n plus 1. Ano yung kanina? Oh. Nasusundan ako from sino to? Sana all ganyan ang calcu. Okay, let us try the next example. We have exploring sequence pa din. Same with dun sa activity number 1. 1, kapag ka figure 1, ito po 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of toothpicks, 4. Kapag ka figure 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we have 7. So balik tayo. Ang gawin natin, paano kapag ka naka 400 figures, naka 400 figure ka na, go back to statistics. And then mula kay statistics, titan ko lang, pindutin natin si y equals a plus bx, which is number 2. And then i-input lang natin yung 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. And then for the value of y, you can have 4 and 7. Nakakahabol. Thank you. Buti nakakahabol. Sir, yung na-type mo kanina is y as y instead. Okay. Kaya pala iba yung kanyang lumabas. Thank you, Ma'am Joy Mibugay. Kaya pala iba yung kanyang naging result ng end term. From Kidapawan City Division, Ma'am Alin. From Manapla National High School. Thank you po, ha. And then, press natin yung option. Go with statistics calculation. Ang kinakompute po natin itong pang 400 figures. Solve for the 400. And then mula dito, wag po kayo magpe-press ng equal. Balik with the option. And then go with the regression. Then the y hat. Y hat is 5. And then press equal. And you would have 1,201. Okay? For the teachers, it's for the exploratory sequences. Pwede nyo po siyang lagyan ng mga enabling questions. Pwede mong ipa-discover sa bata ito. But at least the Casio ClassWiz, na-check niya even without the teachers kung tama ba yung number of toothpicks given the following figures. So the end term will be 1 plus 3n. I-verify nga natin kung 1 plus 3n nga yan. Paano nga ang gagawin natin? We have option. Mula dito sa sagot natin, i-verify po natin kung 1 plus 3n ha. We have option and then compute the regression calculation. So, ang B po natin is 3, yun yung minumultiply natin sa N, at yung A po natin, yun po yung ina-add natin. Kaya ang ating magiging form ng end term dito ay 3N plus 1, which is parehas lang naman dito, 3N plus 1. Okay. So we have the next one. Find the sixth term of the sequence, or the sixth term rather of a sequence is 19. And the seventh term is 26. What is the 100th term? Can you try solve using your Casio ClassWiz? And then let's see kung ilan ang nakakuha ng tamang sagot. You can type your answer. Anong lumabas po sa, ano ang pang 100 term kapag ang 6th term ay 19 at ang 7th term ay 26? 677 from Daisy Dolor, from Miss Olivia Mainit, 677, okay? Sir Carl, Peter, 677. Okay, I think lahat ang sagot ay 677. So that's 6 and then 7. Ito po siya. The Y will be 19 and 26. 19 and 26. And then you have to press option. And then hanapin natin sa statistics calculation. And then you press the 100 term. Option again. Find the regression, the y hat, and then press equal. Ay, saan ako nagkamali? Bakit naging 100 negative? Ulit. Namali ako nang ilagay. 6 and 7 pala. And then, 19 and 26. Inulit ko lang po ha kasi nag-negative yung sagot ko. And then, statistic, just to verify the answer, 100, press option, regression, and then the 5 hat, the answer is 677. I think the rest naman pare-pares ng sagot. Okay, you can also use this one, how many squares in the figure? Kung wala to, madaling makuha kasi kailangan ko lang 1 at saka yung 2 lamang. Makukuha ko na agad kahit na anong figure using the same process na ginawa po natin doon sa figure. How many squares are in the nth figure? Okay? So, pwede mong gawin. Paano ko i-verify kung 4n plus 1 nga siya? Tingnan natin kung paano. Using as well the statistics mode. That's number 6. Press 6. And then, punta ka doon sa y. Yung ginawa nyo kanina, the same lang din po. Ano yung figure 1 natin? That's 1 and 2. Ilan yung number of squares sa number 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For number 1, we have 5 squares. For number 2, ilan? Bilangin natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So kahit yung number 1 lang tsaka yung number 2 ang kukunin natin, pwede. Mag-alat ka lang siguro kahit na kunyari kukunin mo yung pang third term. Sorry. Kukunin mo kunyari yung pang third term and then press, kunyari lang to, although kaya mo isolve yung yung pang third kahit hindi mo ginagamitan ng ClassWiz. Para lang ma-verify natin kung tama ba yung kanyang itong 4n plus 1. So we have option and then you go with the regression, 5 hat equal. So that is 13. So para ma-verify po natin to, you go back with the option and then regression calculation. That's number 3. So tingnan natin, ang A po dyan, sorry nawala ako. Ang A po natin dyan ay 1 at ang B natin ay 4. Gaya ng sinabi ko, B will be the one to be multiplied sa ating N. Kaya siya magiging 4N at yung A natin will be added or subtracted kay 4N. Depende kung ano yung value ng A. So tama po yung lumabas. Kasi kahit po nasa bahay lang po yung ating mga bata, si magulang kaya niyang i-verify yung sagot ng mga estudyante. At the same time, yung estudyante, kaya niya ring i-verify yung kanyang sagot nang hindi na kailangan pa ng malaking yung bago mo ipasa yung worksheets mo, na-check mo siya at the same time. You can also use this one as an exploring sequences. Although it's very easy, I know to some of you, this is just a piece of cake. The Jewish holiday Chanukah is celebrated by lighting a candle for 8 days. On the first night, 2 candles are lit. On the second night, 3 candles are lit. And on the successive night, an additional candle is lit. Every night, new candles are lit. How many candles are needed for the all 8 nights? Pwede po siya gamitin, teachers. And then, eto naman, to all teachers na nagtuturo ng sequence and series, pwede mo siyang gawin na naka-PowerPoint laro. Pwede mo rin siyang i-send sa bata using Google form. Okay? I-try natin siyang sagutan para ma-experience natin kapag ka nagsasolve ang mga estudyante kung gaano siya kahirap o gaano siya kadali. Nung sinubukan namin ito, isa sa mga estudyante nag-try siya mag-solve in 5 minutes, isa sa estudyante nag-try mag-solve in 3 minutes using ClassWiz, at isa sa kanila nag-try in 2 minutes, natapos niya ang 10 problems. The direction will be solve each problem, write down the code associated with each correct answer. You will need the correct combination to help Louis the dog escape. The game plan here is to help Louis escape from the police department by getting the correct code. Okay? So you have 10 questions. Calculate the 12th term of the following arithmetic sequence. Ang choices po ay 51, 47, 43 at ito yung code. Okay. Can you try 10 problems lang para lang ma-experience natin kapag isineset natin ito sa mga estudyante kung gaano siya kahirap o gaano siya kadali. Meron naman tayong ClassWiz so we can verify it. Same po, gamitin natin yung ating statistics mode ng calculator. Sige, I'll be giving you, I think, kaya yata ng 1 minute or 30 seconds each problem. Sige, tapos ilista nyo lang po, mamaya nyo na sabihin yung sagot. Tingnan natin kung ilan ang nakakakuha ng tamang sagot. Nasa dulo kasi yung answer key. Sige, teachers, parents, and students, let's try to answer number 1 in 30 seconds. Code po ang kailangan, hindi yung choices. Sige, teachers, parents, and students, let's try to answer number 1 in 30 seconds. From Lanao del Sur, Ma'am Sara Sulaiman Makadindang. Hey, ma'am. Mamaya niya po ilagay yung sagot. Ipunin niyo muna. Sige, ipunin niyo. Let's try number 2. Number 2, calculate the 12th term of the following arithmetic sequence. The 12th term. Ano pang pare-parehas na sagot? Ipunin niyo po yung code kasi hanggang 10 yan. Mamaya na po ilagay yung sagot. Let's try number 2. Number 2, calculate 12 term of the following. Okay, number 3. The 16th term of the following arithmetic sequence, -10, -5, 0, and 5. Next, number 4. Hindi ko na siya pinadaan sa sa mga online games kasi baka nag-try kasi kami sa online teaching using the online games. Medyo hindi siya ganun ka nahirapan. Hindi ko rin to nahirapan ng mga estudyante namin. Let's have number 5. Ay, good morning, Ma'am Revi Santos. Thank you po sa pag-support. Ma'am Victoria Walang Sala. Hi, ma'am, from Pateros, I think. Pateros National High School. Okay, number 6, last 4 problems. Para ma-decode natin yung kailangan ni Louis the Dog. So it's one way I think of motivating our students na hindi lagi-lagi na solve for x, finding the end term, etc., etc. Kasi pag gagawin mo to sa Google Form, hindi makaka-proceed yung estudyante sa next na question hanggang hindi niya nakukuha yung mga codes na kailangan in every questions. So kahit naka-distance learning tayo, at least nai-ensure pa rin natin na naging interactive yung mga problems na ibinibigay natin sa estudyante. Importante yan, teachers, lalo sa mga math, at talagang nahihirapan tayong i-motivate ang mga estudyante to love our subjects. That's one of the biggest challenge siguro sa atin ngayon. Let's have number 7. Ma'am Kylie Bernas, hello, good morning. Tuon sa mga teachers naman na ang kanilang kinikater na estudyante, you can do this activity sa mga breakout session, naka-by group siya. But make sure kapag naka-by group siya, na-identify mo, importante kasi pag nagba-by groupings tayo, identified mo yung mga learning ang tawag nito, study habits, kung sino ang visual, kung sino ang auditory sa mga bata, at kung sino ang kinesthetic. Okay, let's have number 8. Bakit po yun importante na ma-distinguish natin? Mapapansin mo kapag ang mga estudyante nagsama-sama sa isang grupo, puro sila visual, ang paraan nila ng pagsosolve visual, nagdo-drawing. Kapag ang mga estudyante nagsama-sama ng puro auditory, iba din ang pamamaraan nila ng pagsosolve. Kapag ang mga estudyante nagsosolve using yung mga kinesthetic students, iba din ang pamamaraan. But I advise you teachers, kapag gagawin natin yan, maglaan ka ng isang grupo na kung saan magsasama ang auditory, visual, at kinesthetic. At mapapansin nyo, from Mindanao, Bukidnon, hi Ma'am Collis. From Bigan City, Ma'am G. Garcia. Mapapansin nyo teachers na kung paano mo itinuro ang isang subject, ganun din nila gagawin. Like for example, nagturo kayo using ganito. Kung sino ang dominated, number 9, kung sino ang dominated doon sa group, kung visual ang pamamaraan mo ng pagtuturo, yung visual ngayon ang magdo-dominate sa group. I know that there is no such thing as one size fits all. Kaya nga dapat varied yung ating teaching strategies. At what is especially yung pagiging ang mahirap kasi ngayon dito, hindi siya face to face. So iisip ka talaga ng paraan kung saan mamahalin ng mga estudyante yung subject natin. I think we have the last one. Sa last problem po, correction po itong 1,950. Gawin niyo po siyang 2010. Gawin natin siyang 2010. Itong 1,950. Masabi ng estudyante na ko yun yung bonus kasi yun yung correction. From Amiro of San Pascual National High School from the province of Batangas. Hi, Ma'am Denise. Okay. Can you type ano yung code po na nakuha natin? Oh, we are from Generation Angalia. B3, 78, 27, K2, A9, 65, T5, 59, 7Y, 2010. 2010 is I think 45 yung kanina na correct natin. From Miss Daisy Dolor, B3, 78, K2, A9, 65, Y45, okay. I think the same with Sir Bon, Ma'am Syra, Sir Mark Luis Gonzalez. Yeah, Bay 10, Ma'am Daisy Delor. Okay, this will be the code. So see, kahit na kapag ginawa natin ito sa Google Form, teachers, mas maganda siya. Hindi ko lang siya magawa dito, but at least you have the idea kung paano siya gagawin yung activity na ito. Okay, so arithmetic, now Louis is free because of the code from the arithmetic, from the sequence that we've solved earlier. Sir Carl, Peter, that is also correct. Hi, Ma'am Cory from South Cotabato. Ma'am Bea Lope, that is also correct, ma'am. Now, isasingit ko lang ito since may mga participants tayo from the grade 7. Let us try to find the prime factorization. Kapag itong 12,150,000, medyo mabigat. Okay? Isa ito sa mga bago kong natutunan sa ClassWiz. Paano, sir? Balik ka lang sa menu. Pag pinrest mo yung menu, press mo lang yung 1. Balik ka doon sa original mo na calculation. And then, you press 12,150,000. Ilang zero ba yan? Okay. And then, press equal. Ang prime factorization nito, pwede mo siyang gamitin pang check. Will be, press mo lang yung shift, and then, itong fact po, yung fact po niya, yung factor, yung nasa degree angle. That's correct, Ma'am Caroline? From De La Paz, Sibutan, Zamboanga del Norte. Hi, Ma'am Annie Banglos. And then press mo lang po, shift po ha, shift, and then fact, yung itong angle po. Yun po yung prime factorization ngayon ng 12,150,000. That's 2 to the 4th power times 3 raised to the 5th power times 5 raised to the 5th power. Okay? Next, we have the next one. Find the prime factorization of 26,345,000. Paano gagawin yan? Same with the one we've solved earlier. You just press menu and then 1. Input lang natin ang 26,345,000. Press equal. Tapos yung shift po natin dyan would be, ito po, shift and then fact. Yung fact po yung sa degree angle. Yung degree, angle, and minutes. Press mo yan, and that will be the prime factorization of 26,345,000. 2 cube times 5 to the 4th power times 11 times 479. Okay? Now, we will be using the prime factorization para makuha naman yung paboritong, hindi pa pala. Yung hindi nawawala sa mga tanong na divisor. So, find all the prime factors. Yung prime factors po niyan, ano po kaya yan? 219. Sige. Hayaan ko kayo Anong prime factors ng 219,406? Mali. 219,469,824. Sige po, try nyo po. So, ano yung mga prime factors? Take note of the question of find all the prime factors. Yes po. Kaya po bang isolve ang geometric sequence, Sir Virgilio? Yes po, sir. Pero ang sinosolve nyo lang po dito, Sir Virgilio, kadalasan yung mga end term lang. Kapag ang A sub 1 ang nawawala, I'm not really sure, sir. Ma'am Leticia Catamora from Barili 1 District. Anyone? Ano yung prime factors? Two, 3, and 7 from Miro. From SDO Manila, Ma'am Raquel Sinubio. Okay, that is correct, Ma'am Miro. 219,469,824. I-press mo lang yung equal and then shift yung fact niya. Ang hinahanap natin ay yung prime lang. So, 3, 7, and 2. That is correct po, Ma'am Miro. Okay. Next. Ito yung paboritong question sa mga contest, ano? Dito nawawala lalo sa grade 7. Yes, that's correct. Prime factors, Sir Joel, Sir Bon. How many divisors does 43,909 have? So, ang divisors po na hinahanap natin dyan ay positive. So, Press mo lang yung 43,904. Press mo yung equal and then shift fact. Yung divisor po na hinahanap natin dyan, hahanapin mo lang yung kanyang exponent. Ang exponent kasi, ang divisor kasi is m plus 1 times n plus 1. Yun yung number of divisors. From Schools Division Office of Laguna, good morning, Ma'am Nanet. In this case, yata kita, sorry. Ulitin ko po, ha? Nakalimutan ko i-ano siya. 43,904, press equal, and then shift factor. In this case po, ulitin ko, yung ating divisor will be m plus 1 times n plus 1. Ang m natin dito ay 7, ang n natin dito ay 3. 7 plus 1, that's 8. 3 plus 1, that is 4. So 8 plus 4, magkakaroon tayo dito ng 32 divisors. Okay, let us have this one. How many divisors does 219,000 or 219,469,824? So the same process, you have 219,469. Yeah, divisors 12, 64, 32. 32 lang po, Ma'am Daisy. Okay, 219,469,824. Rest mo lang yung equal niyan. And then i-factor natin using shift and then fact. Yan po yung number of divisors niya. So, ang ating m ay 11. Tapos, ang ating n ay 7 ngayon. So, plus 1. So, magiging 8. And then ang ating p ay 2 plus 1. So, magiging 3. That will be 12 times 8 times 3. So, ang number of divisors here will be 288. That is correct, Sir Ingilbert Laxina. Oh, hindi kasama, Ma'am Daisy, ang negative factors, only the positive divisors. Although wala siya doon sa instruction, but I was able to stress out that the number of divisors that we are talking here is the positive divisors. Okay, super thank you po to the end power, to the teachers, to the parents na nanonood, to the students coming from the different schools. We have students from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Pasay, Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Pasig, from Arellano University, Ma'am Ami from District of Carmona. Hi, good morning. I hope po you've learned something new from my presentation, although madadali lang siya, but the purpose of this presentation is para makatulong siya doon sa mga parents at sa mga teachers at the same time sa mga estudyante na haharap sa panibagong hamon ng buhay ngayong October 5, lalong-lalo na ang mga nasa public school. Maaaring bago sa atin ang pamamaraan ng pagtuturo at pamamaraan ng pagkatuto, pero hindi ibig sabihin titigil po tayo. Okay? Shoutout ako sa aking kaklase, si Mary Hazel Sanar from the Pasay City South High School. Hi, ma'am. Isa yan sa pinakamadaldal sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Pasay.
Ayan, good afternoon. So, nagkaroon na ng konting technical difficulty with our internet connection and I'm back. So, let's call on again Mr. Ronald Locasha.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Sir Ronald.
Hi, sir.
Ayan. Ayan, medyo nagka-problem lang tayo. Sorry, I'd like to apologize for that. And let's
Actually,
call on
isa yun sa iniisip ko kanina, kinabahan. Yung signal.
Yeah. Let's call on our educational unit head, Casio Education Unit Head, Sir Joel Serrano.
Ay,
Hello, Sir Joel.
hello, Sir Buddy. Kala ko napunta tayo ng Dubai. May tayo ng plano. Ganda ng video in fairness.
So, Sir Joel, meron tayong special guest ngayong umaga.
Oo. Surprise natin to di ba? Si ASDS ba? O si SDS?
Yes.
Ganun natin. Huwag na natin patagalin siguro.
Yes po. Okay, let us now welcome our guest commentator this afternoon. This morning, Education Program Supervisor in Mathematics at SDO Mandaluyong. Let's all welcome Mr. Restituto Airo Delas.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Lako, good morning po.
Good morning, sir. Congratulations, Sir Ronald. Napakaganda ng presentation. First of all, I would like to congratulate Sir Joel and the Casio Philippines for initiating this kind of activity para sa mga math teachers natin. Kasi actually this activity is very beneficial, in the learning and teaching processes. Lalo na ngayon, walang face-to-face na mangyayari. So napaka-importante na may mga ganitong activity na nakikita yung mga teachers natin. Actually, this Casio presentation is not just a trend, na every Saturday ay napapanood. Actually, it's very valuable. It serves a purpose, lalo na ngayong pandemya. At kanina, sa presentation ni Sir Ronald, napakaganda nung mga nakita natin. Actually, pinagsabay niya Nakita ko doon yung pinagsabay niya, yung ginagawa niya nung face-to-face at saka yung posibleng gawin natin ngayon na walang face-to-face. Yung gumawa siya ng games, yung Quadratic Land, then yung mga problem doon sa Quadratic Land, gamit niya yung Casio calculator para i-verify o i-check yung mga sagot. And Sir Ronald is correct, nung sinabi niya na ang Casio calculator, pwede talagang gamitin na ito verify. It will not provide you the processes, the steps. Like for example, you are solving quadratic equation by factoring. You are finding the roots of a quadratic equation by completing the square. Ang ibibigay lang ni Casio ay yung mga possible answer, yung mga answer mismo. But the step-by-step solution, yung mga methods na dinidiscuss natin sa classroom, yun na yung gagawin natin kapag nagdi-discuss tayo. Diba, we will have our synchronous session, meron tayong asynchronous. So sa synchronous, magandang ipakita natin yun na binibigay natin yung steps, nagbibigay tayo ng mga problems sa bata, and then at the same time, bine-verify natin using the Casio calculator. At nakita ko rin, pwedeng extension siya actually ng na kapag nagdi-discuss ka ng mga nature proofs. Okay? Dito mo maipapakita yung solution na ito naging isa lang ang root niya kasi ang discriminant niya is equal to 0. Okay? So yun yung mga possible concept na pwede nating ipasok. Nakita ko rin yung sa inequalities, napakaganda nung ginawa ni Sir ni Sir Ronald doon. Though hindi lang natin nakikita doon yung iba't ibang way ng pagsusulat ng solution like yung using interval notations, using table of signs, okay, using graphical method, pero napapakita niya yung relationship ng quadratic inequalities, yung mga solutions using ClassWiz, using Casio calculator. Actually, ito pong Casio, isa po ako sa naging witness nito na pinakita ito sa Thailand pag uma-attend ako ng mga international conferences. Ang dami ng studies nito na ginawa yung gamit yung Casio ClassWiz nga. At napaka-effective nitong gamitin sa classroom, lalo na nung face-to-face pa yung ginagawa natin. At ngayon, no, this is the first time na face-to-face na mangyayari. So, siguro dito natin makikita na mas effective palang gamitin ngayon itong Casio Calculator. So, mahirap lang para sa atin kasi di ba, we are migrating from one modality to another. So, hindi lahat yun madali para sa atin. Pero along the way, no, maiko-correct natin yan. Magkakaroon tayo ng adjustment at makikita natin yung benefits ng Casio Calculator. Doon naman sa sequence and series, no, tama si Sir Ronald doon, no? Hindi mo siguro mahahanap yung mismong end term, I mean the general term, the equation itself, but you can find the end term using the aid of with the aid of class calculator, Casio calculator. Kung hinahanap yung pang 100 term, pwede mo siyang gamitin pan-check. So kung meron kang may formula ka naman so si teacher i-discuss si formula, ipapakita niya how to find the end term of an arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence, and then from there, kung na-complete na yung sequence, yung table, pinakita niya kanina, doon mo na madiderive yung mga common difference, the common ratio, so lahat maipapakita mo na doon using calculator. So again, maraming salamat Sir Joel. Thank you sa mga ganitong programa ng Casio at congratulations ulit Sir Ronald sa napakagandang presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Galing talaga ni Nino. Salita. Wala akong masabi.
Ay, live ito napapanood sa YouTube namin, sa YouTube, sa may YouTube channel lang ang Math Mandaluyong, mayroon pa ito sa FB page namin. Kaya yung mga na-miss yung mga session sa Casio webinar series, pwede nyo pong balik-balikan sa aming Math Team Mandaluyong Mathematics Mandaluyong Teachers Association, Mathematics Teachers Association of Mandaluyong. Yun po, at sa aming MTM channel. So itong mga video lessons na ginawa o yung mga video presentation sa Casio noong mga nakaraan Sabado pa, actually downloadable ito, no? Magagamit na ito. Itong mismong lesson presentation ni Sir Ronald, no? Magagamit ng mga teachers, download lang, ipakita sa teacher. Pwede na, no? Ang galing pa ng mga discussion, mga nakangiti palagi si Sir Ronald. So congrats again.
Thank you po, sir. Thank you so very much po.
Actually, Sir Resty, in addition to what you said, kasi we created this kind of session. This is by request ng mga nagpa-participate noong mga series, no? They said, baka pwede nyo kaming bigyan ng parang mga examples na pwede namin gamitin sa aming mga future classes, especially for the first 2 weeks ng online modalities nga. So, actually, this was crafted by Sir Donald and si Sir Tony ng aming senior technical teacher. So meeting of the minds kami. Ito na yung na-produce namin. And hopefully by in the next 2 weeks, meron pang ganitong situation. May ganito pang session ulit. So abangan po ng mga participants natin. And thank you Sir Resty for sharing sa mga pages may mga maraming salamat.
Yes, malaking tulong sa mga teachers natin actually. Laging nila yun, pinapanood nila
And from Casio, of course, we appreciate that kind of support. Naman.
Yes, sir. Lagi naman nakasuporta ang DepEd Mandaluyong, no?
Thank you. Sir Ronald, ano masasabi mo?
Kasi the instruction was to provide activities sa mga teachers na magagamit nila bago yung first 2 weeks. So, lahat ng idea ko isinulat ko sa scratch paper. Sabi ko, kagabi ko lang na-finalize ko anong mababa ang gagawin ko. So, hindi kasi, sabi ko kay Sir Joel, pwede ba ako mag-Kahoot? But, nag-dry run ako ng Kahoot using online teaching sa Google. Medyo nagkagulo kami ng estudyante. Lalo yung mga walang laptop, cellphone ang gamit. So, tinanggal ko sa aking choice si Kahoot. Nag-come up na lang ako ng mga idea. Iniisip ko na lang, yung papel na gagampanan ng mga magulang, nakaagapay ang mga teacher para sa learning ng estudyante. Dahil sa October 5, sabi nga sasagupa tayo sa isang panibagong digmaan na ngayon lang natin mararanasan. Pero there's no turning back. October 5, ito na yung oras para maipakita natin na yung paghahanda sa loob ng 6 na buwan na ginawa ng DepEd Central and other division office, maipakita natin sa October 5. Just imagine yung ating 100-year-old na educational system biglang na i-transform into 3 months na preparation lamang. Pero may mga lapses pero alam ko magagawa ng paraan ito ng mga teachers. So sana kahit papaano natuto sila doon sa mga suggestion ko papaano ibigay yung activities. Kasi hindi simple ang math. Marami sa mga estudyante talaga ayaw ng math. And that's a challenge to all the mathematics teachers na maging alam mo yung ang mga estudyante ma-encourage natin na mahalin nila ang subject natin. Yes, sir.
Yun.
Sir Ronald, meron lang akong tanong,
Apo.
doon sa present mo kanina, no, maganda sana, at kay Sir Joel na rin, no, itong Casio kasi natin, yung Casio calculator, maraming version to eh. Meron tayong mga graphing, tama Sir Joel?
Yes,
So,
yes.
maganda rin siguro, no, magkaroon tayo ng session na maipapakita natin yung mga topics like shifting, transformation, ng mga quadratic functions, yung mga graph. Diba? Nakikita nila na, okay, shifted 5 units to the left, 2 units upward, nakikita nila yung movement, nag-a-animate mismo. So yung mga ganon, I think it's possible sa Casio kasi ang Casio talaga upgraded naman ang mga version nito eh.
Yeah, I think we can have.
Kaya
We
po
have
siya.
available apps na for graphing calculator.
Ayan, yan ang maganda, no? May pakita lahat at talagang possible naman ito sa Casio. Yan ang maganda sa. Yes, sir.
Sana isa sa mga taga-DepEd Mandaluyong mo ang sumagot ng request mo at mag-demo.
Sige, sir, marami na. Pwede naman, sabihin mo lang, madali lang naman tayo
Ayan,
sa mga teachers.
Para well represented na yung NCR sa
Yes. Ang Mandaluyong naman, laging ready yan. Alam ni Buds yan, kasi si Buds, dating Mandaluyong yan eh.
Oo nga eh.
I want to take, sir, this opportunity na din na wala na akong ma-chance kanina sa mga teachers na sinuportaan po yung topics from the Arellano University, students from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Pasig, teachers from Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Pasay, my family, Rizal High School, Senior High School and Junior High School, and all the teachers from the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao po. Thank you so much. Sabi ko nga natatakot ako baka mamaya hindi ko ma-meet yung expectation pero sana kahit papaano po may nakuha po kayong something new. Doon po sa pinresent ko po kanina na magagamit natin na bago naman doon sa panibagong pamamaraan ng teaching and learning na gagawin po natin sa October 5.
Sir Joel, pwede kong shoutout lang muna yung aking mga math teachers sa Mandaluyong
Sure.
na nanonood.
Sure.
Lagi yan, sa ko, hindi nawawalang Mandaluyong teachers na nanonood. At yung aking mga student din sa college, Arellano University, pinapanood ko. Kasi additional lessons sa kanila yan. No? Sa aking SDS, Ma'am Romela, alam niya na every Saturday ay may event tayo, ang Casio. Sa aking ESDS, Dr. Alfonso, at sa aking dalawang chiefs, Ma'am Emma Rubio and Dr. Aline Mendoza. So magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Mga good friends natin yan.
Ayun. So kanina pa ako salita ng salita, nakawit pala ako. Kaya hindi pala ako narinig. So again, thank you very much, Sir Resty Rodelas, for your special participation dito sa ating Casio Tech webinar session. And hopefully,
thank you, sir. Thank you, Sir Resty. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Resty. Thank you po.
Lagi ka.
Yeah, nandito ako ngayon sa RS. May taping dito sa Resty ng DepEd TV. Siyempre, pasalamatan natin si Sir Ramil Pascual for allowing us to use RS as a venue sa ating DepEd TV.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Resty.
Thank you, Sir Resty.
Thank you.
And at this point, let us now have a message from the Casio Tech Educational Unit Head. Sir Joel, any last message?
Yeah, I forgot to congratulate Sir Ronald pala for job well done today. It is very engaging, very entertaining. Ako mismo nagsosolve ako and yun nga lang, di ko na kukuha tamang sagot. And anyway, and kumbaga sa hotdog is very juicy yung presentation. Maraming salamat si Ronald and maraming salamat sa DepEd ETU and to all the participants pa uli natin next week. Abangan nyo po yung ating panibagong activity. No? We invited also mga magagaling ding mga Casio technical team. So thank you, Sir Resty kanina, no? Sir Buddy, thank you. That's all from
Yes
me,
po.
and see you next week.
Yes po. Thank you, Sir Joel, and thank you, Sir Ronald
Thank you
Locasia,
po,
for
sir.
your very interesting and comprehensive discussion. At nagtapos na naman po ang ating 8th episode ng Casio Tech webinar session, and I hope marami po tayong natutuhan sa session na ito dahil nagawa pong ipakita sa atin ni Sir Ronald ang mga techniques and other activities na pwede po nating magamit para mas maunawaan natin ang mga konsepto in mathematics. Tulad na lagi namin sinasabi, we are one DepEd, sama-sama tayo, tulong-tulong tayo sa pagsulong ng edukalidad sa ating bansa. Again, maraming salamat po and stay safe sa ating lahat.